Hello everybody and welcome back to the internet's best reactions. Today we are talking about the Canadian Grand Prix. A race that I thought, okay, this is going to be a straight down the middle kind of not great race, but then it unfolded, it changed, your reactions were amazing. Let's talk about it right now. Let's start at the very beginning as we always start, at OT Mirsch. Alonso to everyone after lap 1. Now, there was so much talk, including me getting on that bandwagon, of Fernando Alonso sending it into turn 1. And yes, the fact we were even talking about it after what was an awesome qualifying yesterday, what a man. 40 years old. He's 41 next month. And unfortunately, he didn't get the start we were all dreaming of. We wanted Fernando Alonso to lead. So it was a bit of a shame not to see Fernando absolutely send it, because you know, if he got 1 inch of a better start than Max Verstappen going down towards turn 1, he's sending it. He's sending it round the outside, up the inside, wherever he wants to go. It didn't happen. El Plan in general didn't really happen. The strategy, Alpine, don't know what you were doing there, although, look, they've got the computers. I just felt like maybe something more aggressive, i.e. pitting under the first virtual safety car, would have maybe been better. But hindsight is a beautiful thing. At Phoenix TVX, Alonso in P2. Yes, because, well, he didn't have a great start, didn't get past Verstappen, and he was pretty much a sitting duck for the likes of Sainz behind, and obviously the Mercedes as well. I'm still not over the qualifying performance. Obviously, it's gutting that he didn't get a better result on Sunday, but that lap to go P2 is something special. At Dappy Emma, this one was an interesting one. TV director on that start. Now, I know we haven't been the most complimentary about the F1 TV direction this year, but, a lot of the time it has been very worthy criticisms. But we nearly missed the start. They were doing that fancy shot at the back, showing the back of the grid, fair enough. But don't do it when the 5 lights are going out. I'm pretty sure they cut to the front when the lights had already gone out. So I feel like there was maybe a slip up ever so slightly there. The race start is literally the most important part of the race. They aren't moving. All we have to do, all the audience has to see, is the front with the lights going out. And we pretty much missed that. Who has won Tweet of the Week? Right, Tweet of the Week time now, and this one's brilliant. At Cohen_Van_Santon, strange camera choice at the start. I mean, that sums up what I was describing beautifully. So well done, Cohen. You win an amazing Fanatec prize, and I'll be in your DMs very soon. At Juicer_23, Magnussen's front wing. Now, Haas had the best well, not the best ever, but, well, for them actually combined, I think it's their best collective qualifying performance. But P5, P6, you're thinking, this is a great opportunity to score points. And I feel like we've spoken about Haas doing this before. They finished 17th in DNF. Now, I know Mick Schumacher's car broke. You can still blame Haas for that, I suppose, but still, the car breaks, not much you can do. K-Mag, I think, as a professional racing driver myself, K-Mag needs to calm down a little on lap 1. He's had a few moments. Hamilton again in Spain, he had that moment where he went off into the gravel. That one, Hamilton, of course, is going to take the apex and maybe squeeze a little bit. There's nowhere to go through that right-left in the first sector. There isn't, turns 3 and 4. There just is nowhere to go. Don't go round the outside. Just let him back through. Just let him go. And then if you want to have an attack down the straight, do that. But he just ruined his race again, had to pit because he got the black and orange meatball flag, and the whole of his race was just screwed. Then the VSC came out and some drivers got free-ish pit stops. Just relax, please. At Daniel Deliweed 10, Hamilton behind Alonso again. Now, it wasn't anywhere near as bad as Hungary 2021, and the Alonso train wasn't particularly in action. It was more to do with Lance Stroll, actually, this weekend. But Fernando Alonso, yeah, I've already said, disappointed he didn't do better. Hamilton, on the other hand, had a great weekend, it has to be said, and a great podium, and probably the most happy I've seen him on the podium for a while, considering a P3 last year, Lewis Hamilton would have been pretty mortified at a P3. Now he's absolutely buzzing. It just shows how quickly Formula 1 can change. At Bents17809348, every Red Bull fan who joked about Ferrari's problems. Now this is of course talking about Sergio Perez, who I think went out on lap 8. That's all he managed in that Red Bull, and I was thinking, is Max going to have the same problem? He didn't. But another reliability issue for a front-running team is not something we tend to see. And it's not like we have new engines this year. It's all very much more focused on the aerodynamic side of things. But I guess with that, they've risked more with the way they package certain things on the car to... Yeah, I mean, that's about as far as my aerodynamic expertise goes. But we're seeing a lot more of those kind of problems this year. And another problem for Red Bull, which just shows as much as Max is kind of running away with the championship right now, it isn't over. Maybe this is Ferrari copium that's currently kicking in right now. Of course, Charles Leclerc starting from the back did not help my copium at all. I'll get onto that, don't you worry. But it was a shame for Sergio to lose, well, score 0 points for the Canadian Grand Prix, because we were kind of talking about him being a championship contender. Now he's lost a huge amount of points to Max, and you just wonder, is he going to get his shot? At Thorenson Andre, Perez for the second time this weekend. Of course, from qualifying, he went out as well after crashing very strangely at the turn 3 corner, just going straight on into the barrier. And then, for whatever reason, I think it's just Canadian Grand Prix things, he went on a very strange adventure, very close to the big old river that's there. I think it's a river. Don't ask, I'm not very good with geography, but it looks like a river. And it's like a big old hill, and he was being made to walk along this like grassy verge, and very strange. But yeah, Sergio again having to walk his way back to the pits. Sad times. At Glittering K&M, another driver that was involved in being the conductor of a train was Alex Albon, who was very quick in that Williams. Albon is the head of this week's DRS train. It's either him or Lance Stroll. You can let me know in the comments who was the better conductor. I think Lance Stroll probably was maybe a little bit better in terms of holding a huge amount of people up. I was speaking to Tommy actually in our live Twitch streams that we're doing. If you didn't know, we are live on Twitch a lot now for pretty much all of the sessions throughout a Grand Prix weekend. So if you want to go follow us on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/WTF1official. There'll be a link in the description. But I was speaking to Tommy about... What was I speaking to Tommy about? I've lost my train of thought now. 1 second. Right, I've got my thought back now. That was a bit strange. But it was to do with DRS and proving this year that despite the new regulations, despite them being able to follow a bit better, Formula 1 still needs DRS. 100,000% needs DRS. Anyone that doesn't think that, I don't know what you want from a Formula 1 race, but DRS is needed. At Edwin Sheku, Red Bull, our car is reliable. Gearbox. Simple, effective, and looks like they're a Charles Leclerc fan, so no surprise they did this tweet. I've reflected a little bit on Haas, but I'm going to do this tweet anyway. At Jeffrey Nederloff, Schumacher finally seeing a points finish. His car. It was a shame. Mick was doing really well this weekend. He was doing exactly what was required of him at the start of the season. And you can't really say he did anything wrong, to be honest. He was in the mix. He was fighting very much in the points. And then his car just broke. So, glimmers of hope for Mick Schumacher fans out there, I am one of them, that maybe, just maybe, he's taking a step forward again, although it's going to be a blow to know that points were on the table this weekend, and again, something went wrong. At Banuna1988, Norris's pit stop. We're actually talking about McLaren. They were so anonymous this weekend. Lando had a terrible race with this pit stop as well. They tried to double stack with Danny Rick ahead, and then they had the wrong tyres, and Lando was just sat there waiting for tyres to be put on his car. That's when you know it's gone very badly. I don't know what's going on with McLaren. They'll have the odd race where they're in the mix and they're fancying a few points, but then some of the races they're nowhere. At T_Houston123, McLaren's double stack. I think, was that how you felt, McLaren fans? Tell me, what was your emotions when that happened? I haven't done this part for a while, but if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. That's all. I hope you're enjoying the content. We had Sebastian Vettel content middle of this week. We've got more Sebastian Vettel content coming next week. You know you want to subscribe. At Cyril__O, L plan. I don't think Alonso could have gotten away with the second VSC. It looked as if it'd gone back to green flag racing before Alonso could have pit. But it just felt like they were kind of hoping for some sort of crazy incident out at the exact right time. I think I just hit my microphone again, for them to pit. But it didn't happen, and I felt like maybe Alonso could have been in a bit more of the mix. At Elaton85, VSC comes out, everyone pits, Alonso. I mean, he's not that old, he is getting on, as I mentioned earlier, he's 40 years old, but he hasn't lost any of that racing driver ability, I'll tell you that. At Nathan_1617, POV or Zhou Guan Yu. Zhou Guan Yu impressed me this weekend. He was doing really well, of course was stuck behind an Aston Martin, but he was taking steps forward. Outqualified Bottas, looking really good in the race as well. I'm steadily and every single race becoming a little bit more impressed by Zhou Guan Yu. Oh, we're finally now reflecting on Charles Leclerc's race. Of course, started towards the back of the grid at F1meme_show. Leclerc behind Ocon. This was so painful to watch, I can't tell you. I was like, please, Ocon, stop getting a decent exit out of that hairpin. Just one little wiggle is all I ask for. And it just never happened. And Charles eventually had to pit, and then he had a slow pit stop, and then came out behind a million cars. Of course, still finished P5, which is okay. Probably not the best amount of damage limitation to be beaten by both the Mercedes, but the Mercedes were quick this weekend, so you have to kind of accept it. But my God, that Ocon, being stuck behind Ocon was killing me. At Kroa Polska, Leclerc pit stop. Ferrari were trying ever so hard to just make it a little bit more difficult for Leclerc, having already started at the back of the grid. Thank you. Oh no, at MJBTV94, Tsunoda leaving the pits like... Oh, Yuki. Just when I thought he's got rid of these little weird mistakes, his crashing at Imola, his rear wing wiggling at France last year, I think it was. This mistake was, I mean, huge. So unforced. It wasn't like it was wet or anything like that. It was just a big unforced error from Yuki, who was running pretty well. And there's not much more I can say about it. It's a disappointing mistake from Yuki. I liked this tweet, hoping it might age well. It didn't. At Developer Studios, have high hopes. You can't defeat me, I know, but he can. Almost. Let's talk about it, actually. Let's talk about it. Carlos Sainz was looking very racy indeed. And it was heart in your mouth stuff for what, maybe 12 laps or so. Sainz was sat in the DRS getting ever so close to Max, but just could not get that extra tenth out of that hairpin to have a go into the last chicane and then maybe into turn one. It just never happened. And I think on the penultimate lap, it was so close. And then he just lost the back end and didn't get the... Well, I think actually didn't get the nose into the hairpin. Lost a couple of tenths, and that was pretty much it. There's another tweet as well, at JBR2120. Not what I was expecting. That one aged well if you're a Red Bull and Max Verstappen fan, that's for sure. At Gilsey Bear, Carlos in Max's mirror right now. It's good. If you haven't seen it, great film. Go and watch it. At LRF97XX, Carlos Sainz right now, so close to his first victory. I hope he takes confidence out of this weekend and not, I finished second again, so close to the victory. He needs to look at this as a positive. He was right behind Max. The Ferrari looked very quick at the end of that race with those hard tyres. Not too bad. He's not fighting for the World Drivers' Championship right now. It will be a shame that he didn't win, but Carlos, thumbs up. Well done. At Eristrogen, Carlos taking another career best finish of P2. Okay, that's enough Carlos memes. Okay, he's going to be hurting a little bit, but he'll be okay. At Nilshar248, Hamilton finishes in P3. So this is exactly what I said earlier on. It's so true. He's buzzing. And it's good to see, because he clearly accepts the situation that Mercedes are in, and it was a great drive. There's nothing more to say. I feel like I should have included this tweet earlier, but I'm going to include it now. At @Allure_Evans, me watching the rest of the race after getting my hopes up for Mick. Yeah, sad times. It really was. There's another meme here. At the 911 car guy, Sainz, I want that win. Racing gods. The best I can do is P2. I hope that's not forever, though. Sainz needs a win. He can't be that guy that just never wins a race. He's in a great car. We've got, what, 13 races to go. Surely a Carlos Sainz win is happening this year.
It's time for Social Media Team Championship.
Right, Social Media Team Championship time now. Let's see who has scored points for the Canadian Grand Prix. In third place, we have Mercedes AMG F1. It's a funny Toto video, to be fair. Anything with Toto in where it's a bit staged like that, I enjoy it. So well done, Mercedes. 1 point. In second place, we have a very odd exchange between Ryanair and Haas F1. So, of course, the points are going to go to Haas F1. But I think they were speaking about sponsorships or something, and Ryanair took a poke and said that only Haas is in their budget range. And then Haas went, nah, you're okay. We had enough of being last to our finishing destination last year. That's full-blown savage from Haas. Well done. And finally, the winners of the Social Media Team Championship. And I don't remember the last time a team actually won from a Friday post, but it goes to AlphaTauri with sending Pedro Gasasio, or I don't know how you even pronounce that, and Giuseppe Tsunoda to the press conference today. Of course, there was that Spanish newspaper, I think it was, where they just changed the names of the drivers' names for some reason in the classification for one of the Grand Prix. Don't know why, but well done, AlphaTauri. You made a lot of the internet laugh. That's 1 point for Mercedes, 2 points for Haas F1, and 3 points for AlphaTauri.
And now it's time for Race Rundown with your host, Matthew Gallagher.
Here we go then. The finishers of the Canadian Grand Prix were Verstappen, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc, Ocon. Verstappen, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell. Verstappen, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc, Ocon. No. Verstappen, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc, Ocon, Alonso. Verstappen, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc, Ocon, Alonso, Bottas. Verstappen, Alonso. No, Alonso didn't finish second. He qualified second. Verstappen, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc, Ocon, Alonso, Bottas, Guan Yu, Stroll, Ricciardo, Vettel, Albon, Gasly, Norris, Latifi, Magnussen. Yes, I've done it. Tsunoda, Schumacher, Perez. The non-finishers, and I'm done. I'm finished. I'm so in the mud. It's disgusting. Right, that is it. Thank you so much for watching the internet's best reactions to the Canadian Grand Prix. I hope you enjoyed the race. It was tense. It was action-packed. I really enjoyed it. Let me know your out of 10 rating in the comment section below. Hashtag WTF1 if you want to get involved next time, and you could win an amazing Fanatec prize if you win Tweet of the Week. Remember, we are live on Twitch for a lot of watch-alongs of the sessions. We're also doing midweek shows, so follow us on Twitch. It's WTF1 Official if you want to find it. As I say, I'll put a link in the description as well. Love you lots. See you soon. What is it, 2 weeks till Silverstone? We're going to be there. If you're at the WTF1 Clubhouse, we'll see you there. Lots of content coming as always, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye!